Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching. Today, with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2023, and at this, I would like to talk to you about a session that I've created with the help of this book we have available on the website called Club Curriculum U11 to U12 book. So the book is discussing the U11 to U12 age group. Now, it does talk about the systems in play, mostly in a 8v8 system, and we play with a 9v9. So there is some discrepancies, but the concepts are there in here. We're talking about, the transition from, hey, if you're playing this, it would translate 11v11 to a 4-4-2 or things like that. And it hits a lot of the main points still. So I really enjoyed this book, especially being a coach of a U12 team, another team that's going to be going into the U11 age group shortly. I thought it was really interesting to get some of the concepts and some of the philosophies for this book. So I designed some drills that I do, but mostly just kind of how I line up my U12 and my U11 teams. So here we got to start. So again, they've got an 8v8. We play a 9v9. So this is my 3-back system with basically a 3-1-3-1. And what we got here is our backs or goalie. Okay, we play a 6, a 10 or an 8 hybrid, a 9 up top, and wingers. And what we're really working on here is our wingers playing a little more central. And because we've got the ability to overlap here, we really want the outside backs, and we got the cover. We got the outside backs getting forward. So this is the part at the U11 and U12 game. You're moving away more so from the individual player development as much as you're still having individual player development, but it's not so much as the individual player on the ball. You're now talking about the individual player within the context of the greater game and the greater tactical side of the game. So you're adding more instances of give and goes. You're adding more instances of off the ball play. Whereas before that, you're seeing that, but your predominant focus is going to be making sure the players are calm, confident on the ball. So in this formation, my big push is for these guys to the wingers to tuck in, these guys to overlap, and our defense to work collectively to shift and cover. We can start introducing the concepts of the 6 covering in this situation. So this ball, let's say, is here. Okay, we lose possession. This player slides. This player slides. The 6 slides in to cover, and we keep our 3 back, and we're able to pin the ball here. So that's a huge focus of what I'm trying to do with the age group, is to get the concept of the overlap and the defenders attacking and the attack player defending. I think especially if you're getting players that are coming from maybe a rec level coming up to a higher level, which we're going to be seeing in the next couple years with some of my players, you'll find that they get this training and you're told the position. It's easier to kind of put them in a place and say, here's where you stand, here's where you go, because it's easier concept and it doesn't look as chaotic. But the reality is the game is chaotic, and they need that experience. And you might get a player or two that hey, I'm a defender, so I'm not going past half. I'll never be out there. So you might be training that. If you have more of a higher level team, maybe they're aware of this. They have the ability to do so, and it's a little bit easier transition. But you're still going to find that if I go forward, I'm going to leave space open. So teaching that yes, that's going to happen, but then you're going to have someone cover for you and work together. You can start introducing that much more in depth at the U11, U12 age group. And again, not to take away that you're not developing them individually, you're doing individual ball work, but the ball work is going to be more relevant to in relation to where other players are on the field. So the other formation I like to run here is a double 6. All right, so I'll be training a double 6 here with 2 center backs. And similar concept here, we're not seeing as many overlapping players unless we find a situation where the center back slides and they're able to overlap, and the 6 is going to drop in there and cover for them. So within this, it's a similar concept. We're kind of getting more into the midfield. But again, I really think that's an important concept that's under taught, is getting your defenders to be more attacking players. I think sometimes the defending players get stuck in this role where I'm a defender, and it's kind of a place where you put your less technical skilled players, and they get the ball and they're looking to get the ball off their feet because it's like get to the better players up forward. And I really feel like at this age group is the point to teach the position that can most develop and get most benefit from this age group is and learning the tactical side is the defenders and getting the defenders involved. And maybe a little biased, having been a defender, that's really my key focus when working with this age group is making sure we attack as a team, we defend as a team. My forwards are pressing, they're getting to the ball. They're working on making sure we're funneling players into poor passing lanes so we can intercept through our midfield. This is a great formation to do so. But defenders wise, we're making sure we're getting forward and getting involved and doing things that we need to do, and not just being that, hey, I'm going to boot it and get it up to the forward here. And getting rid of that stigma with these players. Now you might have your Trent Alexander-Arnold player that's, hey, I play defense, but I love it, but I'm going to bomb up the field. You might find those players, and that's awesome. You don't have to teach that stuff, but I think it's kind of rare. And I found it with my team that I've had now as a U12, 11 and U12, we've developed so far in that regard, but in the beginning, it was just not something that was really there. And I think both these formations teach that. The three back more so. Now you're getting more defensive. You're expecting your midfielders to have a larger role per se, but if you can execute it and execute well, I think it's a great attacking formation. For actually getting results. But the main focus is that they're getting that experience. Now when we're playing the double six here, what I really want to do is start in this formation, but this 10 should, in theory, in attack, get up. So we have two forwards, and our 2 6s are staggered. So one of the sixes is pushing forward here. I'm getting into a forward position, and the other 6 is covering for them as in the cover position. Now, not right behind them, slightly staggered, but definitely more central here. So we're working that kind of idea of like, hey, we're playing the same role, but when something happens, we're changing roles based on that. So if the ball's over here, we switch. And again, you can start introducing much more of these tactical concepts. Now, again, still heavy fundamentals, still heavy on the ball, but getting that relationship there. And I think the way to do that is obviously utilizing these different formations. Now, you can go and just flip the triangle here where you've got 2 10s, or you could call them 2 8s, and a forward here, and kind of do the same thing where the 6 is just generally covering. But I think the heavy focus in these types of sessions at U11, U12 is I really like the pattern play to give them examples, but getting small-sided and like 3v3, getting the give and goes, 2v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and getting those small groups and getting to understand the game within those patterns. So in these systems, right? So we've got a 3 back. The players that are operating here are your 6, your center back, and your left back, and your winger. So even you could say it's these 3. Draw a triangle here. These 3 players are reacting to each other. So now you got 9 players in the field, and everyone's reacting to everything. But you're getting the game to the movement. The most important movements here are these 3 players recognizing where each other are. So he recognizes he's on the ball. Oh, sorry, I already have a ball. He's recognizing he's on the ball. He's recognizing he's moving. So he moves. He recognizes he moves. He replaces. And this player kind of gets more central. And we're moving within that triangle formation, right? So working those triangles within your system, and you've gone from, hey, my U8, U9, yes, there's some tactical elements, but I'm really focused on just like the singular player. We're expanding it to the triangle. And I think as you kind of go along and maybe get to the higher echelons of the U12, then we get to U13, we're creating, adding maybe a second triangle. Maybe now we're talking about this triangle in relation to this triangle over here. And then we're talking about how those 2 triangles relate. And we're building upon those elements. So the U11, U12 is the triangle. Maybe get 4, maybe get a diamond in here. But then as you move along, you're then taking those 2 triangles. If they had the fundamental basic understanding of the triangular movement, again, just not just like passing the triangle movement, how those triangles affect each other, but now you're creating, this triangle relates to this triangle, relates to this triangle, and you start building upon those connections as you go through getting into the U12s, but then you really start hammering it home in the U13 and beyond. But you can't really do that if you don't have that fundamental understanding of the singular triangle. So really like this concept. I really like the way it kind of broke down some of the ideas and concepts of how the U11 U12 line works. Again, I had to make some modifications because I think the diagrams in there are for an AV8 and we play an IV9. But I really think if you check the book out and utilize some of these formations I've discussed in your sessions and some of the concepts and the tactical concepts, I think you're really going to find that this is a really adaptable and a really effective way of working with this age group. So again, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching, and the help of Academy Sports Coach and the book Club Curriculum U11 U12 book ebook. I'll put in the comment section you can check out. I hope the session finds you well.